Time for the Tesla and Palantir weekly and monthly update. So I'm going to start out with Tesla here, and we got a lot to unpack here. And it's not the greatest monthly candle close. I mean, yeah, it closed up 2% this month, or this week, I should say. But it did close below every kind of level on the weekly and on the monthly chart. So first on the weekly chart, we can see it closed below the baseline. It closed below the 886. It closed below my green Gann arc above, wicked above, and closed below. So that's not very a good thing. And even on the monthly chart, it closed below the conversion line right up there as well, right around 349. So every indicator on log scale, it closed below except for the baseline right down here. And that baseline does exist around 313, 314 right down there. So does that mean we're going to go back for a lower retest? Well, let's dive into that. So first, let's go to my linear scale Gann chart over here. And we can take a look at that. Price also closed below the green Gann, the orange Gann level right here, which is basically 358, 359. And that was the goal. The goal was to close the whole week and the month above it, and the market makers sent it below everything. But not only that, if we zoom in, what else did they do? They closed it below the 347.58, the 786 fib for the second week in a row. So this is not a very good development, which means that officially we kind of do have to put the 321, maybe even down to the 313 baseline right here, 314 baseline on the table as a back test because of how they close things, right? The market makers, they could have closed it above levels, but they did not. They closed it below everything, which means that now it is possible to back test lower levels. So we will have to pay attention to that 321, even like a wick below, perhaps even to close that gap, maybe right there at 307, right? There is a gap right there. So who knows, 307.04, that could be on the table as well. So just because all those things that it spent the majority of the week, majority of the month above all these levels, and in the last minutes of trading, they closed it below levels, that's just a little bit suspicious to me. So we got to be cautious here. Nothing was flipped to support. Absolutely nothing. Not on linear scale, not on log scale. Nothing was flipped to support. So that means we got rejected pretty massively in the 350, 360 zone, which I warned you about for a long time, for weeks now. I warned you about that level. So now I think it's official that every time price comes up to the 350s and 360s again, we need to be cautious until there's confirmation that it wants to close above. So in my opinion, I think we need to prepare for lower levels, and basically everything from the 320 zone right here, 321.32, all the way down, maybe even to the 306.93 for a log scale 786 back test. So be prepared for some back tests before trying to break out of this massive resistance zone. And next we have Palantir. So Palantir on log scale here, I can just show you that the chart looks great, right? The chart looks really good. We can see that essentially this does want to maybe gravitate to the 147 or 157.62 above. And the only thing we need to pay attention to next month is, in my opinion, the monthly Bollinger Band, and that's the only thing I've been watching this whole month anyways. I've been watching the monthly Bollinger Band ride it as support. So we're going to have a new month starting Monday, so that means it's going to keep expanding, and if this Bollinger Band keeps expanding, then that's going to be a new price. Right now, the upper band is 118.70, but this has potential. Maybe now the new band next month is going to be right around 126, 127, 125, around that zone. So if that can hold as your new support, then yeah, it's just going to keep riding it as support and gravitate to the 157 and above. So Palantir, there's absolutely nothing bearish about this chart. The momentum is still in the bull's favor, and we're going to see where this Bollinger Band, the upper Bollinger Band opens, because that's going to be where we're going to identify if that support zone can hold.